Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And good coverage defensively. They wouldn't let him get ahead of steam going, and he'll be brought down at the 15. Stroud looks to throw on the first play. Short throw to Smith. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Flush to his right. He'll let this go deep for Collins. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A gain of 37. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's second down. Well, this defense for the Ravens, much improved from week one. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. You look at this Baltimore defense. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
On third down, Mixon. And some room to work. Touchdown, Houston. Joe Mixon, his 104th career touchdown, one shy of Tim Brown on the all-time list. And the Texans are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the...
Oh, his first throw of the game intercepted. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. Now a leaping catch, he's got it. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Mixon is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Mixon again. And he'll be stopped up short as the tackle is made at about the 3. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
He's already scored once. He definitely had his eyes wide open trying to get in there a 2nd time, but I thought that was a really nice play defensively to deny him.
Yeah, it was, as you said, keeping him away from his 2nd first-quarter touchdown there. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now they bring a receiver in motion right. Third and goal, Stroud. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. Now it's Jackson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Another first down there as this one goes for 25. Here's Jackson to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Here's Jackson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. So this offense able to convert on fourth, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. John Franklin Myers. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Tucker's kick is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So not exactly the response they were hoping for, but they'll take the 3 to at least get them on the score sheet.
Yeah, now's not the time to panic. All is well, somewhat calm, only down 14-0. So continue to play your game, take the points when they're there, and put the emphasis on your defense to go out and get you the football back.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much, don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 54 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. Stroud now on 2nd down. And his his throw here's incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Now Stroud. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the fourth down.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on fourth down. And the slot man goes in motion left. Stroud now on fourth down. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Stephon Diggs high in the air to bring it in. And the Texans' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now a 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. On third down, Jackson. This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with a throw to the safety valve, and it's fourth down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Mixon on the toss right. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 92 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Throwing is Jackson. Throwing right, and that's complete. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Jackson will throw again. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
In motion comes the tight end left. To throw is Jackson. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And the Texans force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
Down the sideline he goes. Inside the 20, Nico Collins. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins in the final seconds of the first half. And the